Hi, it's Morag Gamble from our Permaculture Life and the Permaculture Education Institute, and welcome back for another live. Usually I'm out in my garden or maybe somewhere in my kitchen or lounge room talking about something to do with how you can reduce the plastic use in your life. But what I wanted to do today here from my office is talk about some of the resources that are available that you might like to dive into, either some books or some online references that will help you to kind of look to the many other ways that you can get single-use plastic out of your life, this plastic-free July. So one of the ones that I wanted to mention, and actually I should say that I asked my daughter in the Permayouth group for a bit of advice on some of their favourite resources for this too. So some of the ones that they mentioned were Story of Stuff, obviously. Now, if you look up storyofstuff.org, there is a huge resource there of films and information and graphic material too that can help you not only to understand yourself but to explain to other people some of the things that we could get rid of, and also some really compelling arguments why this is not just a little issue but it's a really major issue in our world and for the planet right now. So storyofstuff.org is a really good one. And of course, particularly those of you who are watching from Australia, the War on Waste series is just absolutely fantastic. So if you just Google War on Waste, you'll find Craig Rucastle's brilliant series, but also a whole lot of materials that have been developed as to support that, to help you to find really great ideas of what to do and to give you more of the backstory as well of what's happening within a whole range of different sorts of industries. And there is also on the ABC Education site a really good collection of activities. So if you're still at home doing homeschooling, that might be something that you want to dive into and explore with your children. Now, some of the books that I just put, look, there's so many, so how do you pick? But some of the books, my really good friend, how can you see this? Rhonda Hetzel has written some great books that really help you to dive into looking at how you can live a more simple life. So she has Down to Earth, there we go, that one. And The Simple Home. So they have so many great things about how you can live more simply and less packaging. And then there's also Low Tox Life from another friend of mine, Alex Stewart, who not only talks about just simplifying your life, but also getting rid of all the toxins. And so essentially, by starting to think about how you can live a less toxin-filled life, it also means that you're getting rid of plastics, because it generally comes back to actually making things from scratch as well. There's a really great book. You may have seen these books, Grown and Gathered by Matt and Lentil, and they have so many different tips in here of how to make things from scratch as well. So that's a really good one to look at if you think, well, how do I do all this stuff and I'm not getting stuff made and packaged and sent to me. So they have brilliant recipes in there. And also this book is just brilliant as well. Oh gosh, there we go. The Weed Foragers Handbook. And this again is another Australian book, and it goes through all the different plants that you can find in and around the landscape that you can just eat for free, and they also give you some really good tips on how to do that foraging as well. So there's some of the things that I thought might be helpful to you. So the Story of Stuff, the War on Waste, the Weed Foragers Handbook, Grown and Gathered, Low Tox Life, The Simple Home, and Down to Earth. So I'll put the links to those below, and hopefully some of those are really useful to you. Maybe you've got some of them already. If you have some that you use that you find really helpful, stick them down below as well. I'm sure everyone would love to hear about what it is that you use as your inspiration, or for cooking from scratch, or all those sorts of things, or great references that you've got online that you have found. All right, well, I'll catch you again tomorrow for another live talking about ways that we can get rid of the single-use plastic